26 Honda S2000. Yes, the legendary roadster is finally making its comeback after more than 2 decades, and Honda seems ready to bring back that perfect mix of high-revving excitement, lightweight handling, and pure driving pleasure that made the original so iconic. We're going to dive deep into everything we know so far, from the exterior design to the interior experience, from performance specs to price expectations, and see if this next-generation S2000 really lives up to the hype. From the moment you see the 2026 S2000, it's clear Honda hasn't forgotten its roots. The proportions instantly remind you of the original: a long hood, short rear deck, and a low, planted stance that screams agility. But now it's all been modernized. The front end looks sharper and more aerodynamic, featuring an aggressive bumper design with wide air intakes that not only give it a menacing look, but serve real functional purposes for cooling and airflow. The slim LED headlights stretch outward like focused eyes, giving the car a determined expression. Every line and crease across the body looks intentional, sculpted for performance but still unmistakably Honda. The side profile is pure sports car minimalism. The wheel arches are muscular but clean, housing large, lightweight alloy wheels, likely 19-inch, wrapped in performance rubber. The lines flow effortlessly from the hood toward the rear, giving the car that sleek, dynamic sense of motion, even when it's parked. The stance is wide, the body sits low, and everything about it looks ready to attack a twisty mountain road. The doors are simple, almost frameless in design, with flush handles for aerodynamics. Move toward the back and you'll notice the short tail section, a signature trait of the S2000 lineage. At the rear, Honda's designers have blended retro inspiration with futuristic detail. The taillights are LED with a modern light signature that echoes the original shape but adds more sophistication. There's a subtle integrated spoiler that adds downforce without ruining the car's clean lines. The rear bumper gets a functional diffuser setup and twin exhaust outlets that sit wide apart, hinting that there's serious power under the hood. The exhaust note, if early test mules are anything to go by, is deeper, sportier, and much more refined than the last gen, S2000. It's the kind of tone that makes you want to drive. Just for the sound of it, one of the best things Honda has done is keep the S2000's soft-top roof. Instead of going for a heavy folding hardtop, they've stuck with a lightweight fabric top that keeps the center of gravity low and the spirit of the original alive. It folds neatly into the rear deck, keeping the car's profile smooth and compact. The overall shape looks athletic, agile, and completely focused on performance. Exactly what you'd want from a roadster wearing the S2000 badge. Step inside, and it becomes clear that Honda hasn't just designed this car for looks, it's built for drivers. The cabin layout is tight, purposeful, and driver-centric. Everything feels focused on creating a connection between car and driver. The steering wheel is compact, likely flat-bottomed and beautifully contoured with tactile grips. Behind it sits a fully digital display cluster that's customizable, letting drivers switch between classic analog-style dials and modern performance data views like G-force meters, lap timers, and boost gauges. The center console is minimalist. You won't find a sea of buttons. Instead, the essentials are placed exactly where they should be: the start button, the drive mode selector, and a compact touchscreen for infotainment. Honda has promised that while the car will have modern connectivity features like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, it won't overload you with distracting tech. The philosophy is still about keeping the driver engaged, not entertained by screens. The materials inside feel premium and lightweight at the same time. Expect a mix of Alcantara, leather, brushed aluminum, and carbon fiber accents. The seats are heavily bolstered sports seats that hug you tightly through corners while remaining comfortable enough for daily driving. They're mounted low to the floor, giving you that authentic, connected-to-the-road driving position that made the first S2000 so loved. Everything from the short-throw gear lever to the perfectly placed pedals screams precision engineering. For those opting for the manual transmission, yes, Honda is reportedly keeping the 6-speed manual alive. It's expected to be one of the slickest shifters in the business, just like the original. Even the way the switches click and the doors shut have that tight mechanical satisfaction that makes you smile every time you touch the car. Performance-wise, this is where things get really exciting. Under the hood, Honda is rumored to be using a turbocharged 2.0-liter, four-cylinder engine, possibly a tuned version of the Civic Type R's power plant, producing somewhere between 320 and 350 horsepower. That might not sound extreme on paper, but remember, this car will be light, likely under 3,000 pounds, which means that power will translate into serious performance. Reports suggest it could do 0 to 60 miles per hour in just over 4 seconds, making it not just quick, but genuinely thrilling. What's even better is that Honda isn't abandoning its signature high-revving character. Even with the turbo setup, engineers are said to have preserved a high red line, possibly close to 8,000 RPM, which keeps that screaming, responsive feeling that defined the original S2000. The turbo is tuned for linear power delivery rather than sudden bursts, so the engine feels alive and predictable all the way to redline. The transmission options are expected to include that 6-speed manual and an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic for those who prefer quicker shifts or city convenience. Power, of course, goes to the rear wheels only, because an S2000 with anything else just wouldn't feel right. Handling is another area where Honda seems to have gone all in. The new S2000 is built on a lightweight, high-rigidity platform that uses aluminum and carbon fiber components to keep weight down and structural strength up. The suspension setup is fully independent, with adaptive dampers that adjust in real time based on drive mode and road conditions. Steering is said to be electronically assisted but tuned for natural feedback. Sharp, direct, and rewarding. Early prototype drives from Honda insiders suggest the balance is phenomenal. Near 50-50 weight distribution, incredible cornering stability, and an eagerness to rotate through bends. The tires are likely Michelin Pilot Sport 4S or similar high-performance rubber, and braking is handled by large ventilated discs with performance calipers. Everything about this setup screams precision driving and driver confidence. Now let's talk numbers that matter to buyers. The price. As of the latest reports, the 2026 Honda S2000 is expected to start around $55,000 in the U.S. market, with higher trims or performance editions possibly reaching up to $65,000 or even $70,000 depending on options. That positions it right in the mix with cars like the Toyota GR Supra, the Nissan Z, and the Mazda MX-5 RF, but with its own unique appeal, that purist Honda feel and legendary reliability. For what it offers, a lightweight chassis, turbo power, manual gearbox, convertible design, and Honda engineering. That pricing sounds fair, especially in a market where true driver's cars are becoming rare. It's expected to arrive in dealerships sometime in late 2025 or early 2026, depending on production schedules and market rollouts. So what does all this mean for enthusiasts? The 2026 Honda S2000 isn't just another revival of a classic nameplate. It's Honda showing that it still knows how to make a driver's car. This is a machine built to connect you to the road, not isolate you from it. It's designed to make you smile through every shift, every corner, and every acceleration run. It's not chasing luxury or tech overload. It's chasing that pure, mechanical joy that we've been missing in so many modern cars. Imagine taking it out on an open road. The roof down, engine screaming near redline, and that perfect Honda balance under your hands. That's what this car promises. The thrill of driving distilled into something you can actually live with. So, if the rumors and early looks are true, the 2026 S2000 might just be the comeback story we've all been waiting for. A return to simplicity, purity, and excitement. It's Honda reminding the world that performance doesn't need to be overcomplicated. It just needs to be done right. Thanks for watching MVP Road Car. If you're as excited as I am about the return of the Honda S2000, drop a comment below. Would you go for the manual or the dual clutch? And what color would you pick for yours? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because this is just the beginning. More car reviews, performance tests, and deep dives are on the way. Until next time, keep 2026 Chevrolet Camaro Z28, a car that not only honors the Camaro's legendary past, but also pushes the boundaries of modern American performance. This isn't just another sports car. It's the rebirth of a street-legal track weapon that brings raw energy, precision engineering, and bold design into one breathtaking package. At first glance, the 2026 Camaro Z28 commands attention. The exterior design is aggressive yet purposeful, with aerodynamic refinements that separate it from the standard SS or ZL1 models. The front fascia has been completely redesigned with larger air intakes, a sharper front splitter, and a lower stance that immediately tells you this car means business. The LED headlights are slimmer and more angular, giving it a menacing look even when parked. The hood features functional heat extractors to keep the engine bay cool, while the sculpted side panels channel airflow efficiently along the body. From the side, you can't miss the wider fenders that accommodate the massive 20-inch forged aluminum wheels wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires. The ride height has been dropped just enough to improve aerodynamics without compromising street usability. The rear of the car is equally striking with a carbon fiber rear spoiler, a more pronounced diffuser, and quad exhaust outlets that not only look stunning, but also produce one of the most intoxicating exhaust notes you'll ever hear. The design is not overdone. It's balanced, muscular, and track-ready. Every line has a purpose, and every vent is functional. Step inside, and the transformation continues. The interior of the 2026 Camaro Z28 perfectly blends performance-focused simplicity with modern luxury. The moment you sit in the heavily bolstered Recaro seats, you feel like you're in a race car. They hold you tightly in place during high-speed cornering, but remain comfortable enough for long drives. The steering wheel is wrapped in Alcantara with a flat-bottom design and a red center stripe at the top, a subtle nod to its track heritage. Chevrolet hasn't gone overboard with screens, but the digital instrument cluster and central touchscreen are sharp, intuitive, and responsive. The graphics are track-inspired, displaying vital information like lap times, G-forces, oil temperatures, and tire pressures. The head-up display projects performance data directly onto the windshield, so your eyes never need to leave the road. The cabin materials are premium, a mix of carbon fiber, suede, and brushed aluminum. Even the door panels have been redesigned to save weight while maintaining a solid, upscale feel. Sound insulation has been reduced slightly compared to the standard Camaro, letting in more of that mechanical symphony from the engine bay, which is exactly what enthusiasts want. And if you're wondering about tech features, you still get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wireless charging, and a premium Bose sound system. But let's be honest, the real soundtrack comes from that engine. Now let's talk performance, because that's where the 2026 Camaro Z28 truly shines. Under the hood lies a naturally aspirated 5.5-liter flat-plane crank V8, derived from the Corvette Z06. It produces around 670 horsepower and revs up to an exhilarating 8,400 RPM. This engine is paired with an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission, offering lightning-fast shifts that make both street driving and track sessions a thrill. The throttle response is instantaneous, and every blip of the accelerator brings a smile to your face. Chevrolet has tuned the chassis specifically for the Z28, focusing on lightweight construction and perfect balance. The suspension setup features Magnetic Ride Control 4.0 with adjustable damping, allowing drivers to switch from a comfortable street mode to a hardcore track mode with the push of a button. The car sits on a lighter aluminum subframe. An extensive use of carbon fiber helps shed over 150 pounds compared to the ZL1. The result is sharper handling, better braking, and improved cornering grip. Speaking of brakes, the Z28 uses carbon ceramic rotors borrowed from the Corvette lineup, providing phenomenal stopping power. They're fade-resistant even after repeated high-speed runs, making them ideal for track enthusiasts. The steering feel is precise, direct, and incredibly responsive, something that Camaro fans have long appreciated. The rear differential is electronically controlled, allowing seamless torque distribution for maximum traction and stability. Performance figures? The 2026 Camaro Z28 rockets from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 3.2 seconds, with a top speed approaching 200 miles per hour. But the real magic happens in the corners. This car sticks to the road like glue. Chevrolet engineers claim it can pull over 1.2 Gs of lateral grip, putting it in the same league as European exotics that cost twice as much. Whether you're hitting the racetrack or carving through mountain roads, the Z28 feels composed, agile, and brutally fast. Fuel economy isn't the focus here, but surprisingly, the engine manages around 17 miles per gallon combined, which isn't terrible for a car with this level of performance. What you're really paying for is the experience. The sound of that flat plane crank screaming past 8,000 RPM, the instant throttle response, and the way it dances through corners with confidence and precision. Now, let's talk about price. The 2026 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 is expected to start around $85,000, placing it above the SS and below some of its European competition like the Porsche 911 GT3 or BMW M4 CSL. But when you consider the performance, technology, and craftsmanship you're getting, it's an incredible value. Even fully loaded with optional carbon fiber packages and track upgrades, it should stay under the $100,000 mark. That's a lot of car for the money, especially considering it's hand-built and track-tuned by the same engineers who developed the Corvette Z06. Chevrolet is offering several customization options, including exclusive paint colors, carbon fiber trims, and performance packages. There's even a track pack that removes some creature comforts like rear seats and adds a roll cage for those who want to take their Z28 straight to the circuit. In terms of competitors, the 2026 Camaro Z28 stands toe-to-toe with cars like the Ford Mustang Dark Horse R and the Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat Final Edition. But what makes the Z28 unique is its balance. It's not just about straight-line speed. It's about handling, precision, and driver connection. It's lighter, sharper, and more refined than ever before, making it one of the most complete muscle cars on the market. Overall, the 2026 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 is a celebration of pure driving passion. It's a car built for people who love the thrill of controlling a powerful machine with precision and skill. It brings back the essence of what made the original Z28 so iconic. Performance first, everything else second. So, if you've been waiting for a car that captures the soul of American muscle while delivering world-class handling and performance, the new Camaro Z28 is your answer. It's loud, fast, and unapologetically bold, just the way a Camaro should be. That's all for today's in-depth review, MVP Road Car Family. If you enjoyed this look at the 2026 Chevrolet Camaro Z28, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss our next review. Let me know in the comments. Would you take the Z28 over the Mustang Dark Horse or the new Corvette Z06? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching. 26 Ford Mustang GT. The Mustang name has always stood for power, performance, and pure American muscle. But this new generation takes things to a whole new level. From its redefined exterior design to its updated interior and seriously upgraded performance, Ford has made sure the 2026 GT is not just a muscle car, but a modern performance machine built for enthusiasts who still crave that roar of the V8. Let's start with that first impression, the exterior. The 2026 Mustang GT looks meaner, sharper, and more refined than ever. Ford has taken the classic pony car silhouette and injected it with a dose of aggression. Up front, you get a lower, wider stance with an angular grille that seems to inhale the air in front of it. The LED headlights are now slimmer and more menacing, giving the car a focused, almost predatory look. The hood still carries those iconic muscular bulges, hinting at the power sitting underneath. But everything feels tighter and more sculpted. From the side, you notice how the proportions are perfectly balanced. Long hood, short rear deck, and that sloping roofline that just screams speed. Ford has done an excellent job blending traditional Mustang cues with modern aerodynamics. The character lines are sharper, and those side vents and subtle creases add both style and function. The GT rides on bold 19-inch alloy wheels as standard, with optional 20-inch performance wheels if you really want to make a statement. Around the back, the triple-bar taillights are still there because what's a Mustang without them? But now they're slimmer and use advanced LED lighting for that futuristic touch. The quad exhaust setup looks ready to spit fire, and the rear diffuser gives it a race-ready vibe. Now, step inside the cabin, and this is where the 2026 Mustang GT surprises most people. This isn't just a driver's car anymore. It's a tech-savvy, comfortable, and refined space that still manages to stay true to its muscle car roots. The first thing that hits you is the driver-focused cockpit. The flat-bottom steering wheel feels great in hand, wrapped in high-quality leather with stitching that reminds you this is no ordinary Ford. Right in front of you sits a massive digital cluster that merges seamlessly with the central infotainment screen. A single, sweeping panel that stretches across the dashboard. Similar to what we've seen in some high-end EVs, the instrument cluster is fully customizable, letting you switch between classic analog dials or a modern digital race layout. The infotainment system runs Ford's latest sync software with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and built-in navigation that's super responsive. The center console layout is clean and intuitive, with physical toggles for key functions like drive modes and traction control. A nice nod to old-school drivers who still like to feel in command. The materials are much improved, too. You get soft-touch surfaces, aluminum accents, and optional suede or carbon fiber inserts for that performance feel. The seats are well bolstered, giving you plenty of support when you push the car hard through corners, but still comfortable enough for long drives. Ford also offers Recaro sport seats as an option for those who want a true track-ready interior. In terms of practicality, the Mustang GT still isn't a family hauler, but the back seats are usable for short trips or smaller passengers. The trunk space remains decent for a sports coupe, enough for a couple of weekend bags or a grocery run. Ford clearly wanted to make this Mustang more livable without losing the raw emotion that defines the brand. Now let's talk about the part we've all been waiting for: performance. Under that sculpted hood lives a familiar yet refined beast, the legendary 5.0-liter Coyote V8. For 2026, Ford has tuned it to produce around 500 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque, depending on the trim and configuration. That's an impressive leap over the previous generation, and it's all naturally aspirated. No turbos, no hybrids, just pure old-school muscle with modern engineering finesse. You can get it with a 10-speed automatic transmission, or, for the purists, a 6-speed manual that feels precise and mechanical, the way it should be. On the road, the 2026 Mustang GT feels alive. The throttle response is immediate, and that V8 sound is absolutely intoxicating. Ford has refined the exhaust system so that it delivers a deep, throaty growl in normal mode. But when you switch to sport or track, it opens up with that classic Mustang roar that'll turn heads from a block away. The car's acceleration is brutally quick, with a 0 to 60 time hovering around 3.8 seconds. Putting it right in competition with some serious performance cars from Europe and Japan. But the Mustang GT isn't just about straight-line speed anymore. The chassis feels tighter, the steering more responsive, and the suspension more composed. Thanks to the new MagneRide adaptive dampers, the GT can switch from a comfortable cruiser to a corner-carving beast in an instant. Ford has put serious work into the handling dynamics. There's more precision, better balance, and improved grip, especially if you go for the performance pack that adds upgraded brakes, a limited slip differential, and stickier Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. You really feel that connection between driver and machine, something that older Mustangs sometimes lacked. This new GT feels planted, predictable, and confidence-inspiring, whether you're on a winding back road or a racetrack. The braking performance is equally impressive, with Brembo calipers providing strong, consistent stopping power. Now let's touch on technology and safety. The 2026 Mustang GT is packed with Ford's latest driver assist features, but unlike some modern sports cars, it doesn't feel overly intrusive. You still get adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, and automatic emergency braking. But you can turn most of these off when you just want to focus on the drive. There's also a new performance data recorder that lets you track lap times, G-forces, and throttle inputs. Perfect for enthusiasts who want to analyze their driving performance. When it comes to pricing, Ford has done a great job keeping the Mustang GT competitive. The base GT model is expected to start around $46,000, while fully loaded versions with all the bells and whistles, including the performance pack and premium interior, can push past $60,000. That's a serious deal when you consider the kind of performance and technology you're getting. Compared to European rivals that easily cross the six-figure mark, the Mustang GT offers tremendous value for the performance it delivers. Of course, there are still a few options that can drive the price higher. Custom paint jobs, upgraded brakes, and carbon fiber trim packages. But even then, it's hard to argue with what Ford is offering here. This is still a car that delivers more horsepower per dollar than just about anything in its class. So what's the verdict? The 2026 Ford Mustang GT is a perfect blend of heritage and innovation. It stays true to its muscle car DNA while embracing modern design, technology, and precision engineering. The exterior is bold and aggressive without going overboard. The interior is finally up to par with global performance standards, and the driving experience, that's where the magic still lives. Ford has managed to keep that raw emotional connection alive, while making the car more refined, more capable, and more enjoyable every single day. If you've ever dreamed of owning a true driver's car that can turn heads, thrill your senses, and still be practical enough for daily life, the 2026 Mustang GT might just be the sweet spot. It's not trying to be an EV or a luxury coupe. It's a Mustang, pure and simple, loud, proud, and ready to make every drive an event. That's going to wrap it up for today's review. If you enjoyed this in-depth look at the 2026 Ford Mustang GT, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to MVP Road Car for more reviews, and drop a comment below telling me what you think about Ford keeping the V8 alive in this modern age. Would you pick this over a Camaro or a Challenger? Or do you think the Mustang still stands alone as the king of American performance? 26 Volkswagen Beetle. Every curve, every stitch, how it drives, and what it'll cost. I spent time with the car so you don't have to, and I'll walk you through exterior, interior, performance, and pricing with real-world impressions and things you should know before you buy. Right away, you notice the silhouette. It's unmistakably a Beetle, but reimagined. The round, friendly profile is still there, yet everything is sharper and more purposeful. The headlights keep that circular nod to the classic Bug, but now use modern LED clusters with a distinctive DRL signature that gives the face more character and presence at night. The grille is minimized and integrated for airflow management, and the front bumper flows into sculpted aerodynamic wings that make the car look lower and wider than older Beetles. It's retro DNA blended with modern proportioning. Look at the hips and you'll see pronounced wheel arches and a tighter belt line. The designers leaned into a sportier stance without losing charm. Around back, you get a sleek LED light bar spanning the width on higher trims, a tidy diffuser treatment, and, depending on the trim, either functional exhausts or styling elements that hint at performance. Panel gaps are tight, trims are clean, and little details like flush door handles and refined mirrors show VW meant this to feel premium. Overall, the exterior hits both nostalgia and relevance. Step inside and the Beetle surprises with refinement. The cabin is modern Volkswagen, driver-focused digital cluster, a floating central touchscreen, and thoughtful ergonomics. The instrument display is crisp and customizable so you can keep navigation, driver assist cues, or performance readouts up front. The infotainment system supports wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and higher trims bring features like over-the-air updates and an optional head-up display. The dash uses soft touch materials across the top, and ambient lighting strips give the interior mood options, useful for making the Beetle feel sporty or relaxed depending on the drive. Seat choices range from cloth in entry trims to quilted or perforated leather in premium trims. The bolstering in sport models keeps you planted during twisty sections. Rear seats are adequate for 2 adults on short trips. Headroom is slightly compromised by the sloping roofline, so taller passengers will notice. But cargo is sensible for daily needs, and some versions offer a small front trunk where the engine used to sit on older models, which helps practicality. Build quality feels solid. Small storage solutions are well thought out, and cabin noise insulation is better than you might expect for this class. On tech and safety, Volkswagen packed the Beetle with what buyers expect in 2026: adaptive cruise with stop-and-go functionality, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitors, automated emergency braking, and matrix-style LED lighting on higher trims. You'll also find multiple USB-C ports, wireless charging, and customizable ambient lighting. The steering wheel houses intuitive controls, and the overall HMI feels modern and less cluttered than Beetles of the past. If you're used to Volkswagen's newer EV and ID interfaces, the feel will be familiar and straightforward. Performance is where the Beetle has the most intriguing options. Volkswagen has pushed the new Beetle into a territory beyond just cute commuter. There are powertrain choices that skew from efficient everyday driving to genuinely sporty. Electric variants deliver instant torque and a punchy, responsive feel off the line. Reported range figures vary by configuration and battery size. Some versions are quoted around the high 200s of miles up to near 300 miles per charge under ideal conditions, while performance dual-motor versions claim significantly faster acceleration for those wanting thrills. For markets where internal combustion still exists, turbocharged gasoline engines are being used in certain trims to keep the classic engine note fans satisfied, but the overall focus is clearly toward electrified driving dynamics. The chassis has been stiffened compared to earlier Beetles, suspension tuning is sharper, and higher trims offer adaptive dampers and upgraded brakes. That combination changes the driving personality from soft and nostalgic to sharp and engaging. In city driving, the Beetle feels light and nimble. On country roads, it rewards a sporty driving style without sacrificing comfort for passengers. Real-world driving impressions. Throttle response in electric versions is immediate and addictive. The steering strikes a good balance between communicative and user-friendly. And the braking systems, including regenerative braking on EVs, allow for smooth, confident slowing. Noise isolation and ride quality are acceptable at highway speeds, though on very coarse surfaces you'll notice a firmer ride if you pick sport suspension. Fuel economy and electric efficiency will vary by trim, wheel size, and driving habits. Expect the EVs to deliver substantially lower running costs. But keep in mind charging, access, and local electricity. Prices when comparing ownership costs. Pricing is a big question, and the answers depend heavily on region, trim, and powertrain. Early figures suggest Volkswagen is positioning the base model aggressively to attract mainstream buyers, with higher-end and electrified versions naturally carrying a premium. Expect entry-level variants to be in the affordable compact segment, while fully loaded EV or performance models will climb into a higher bracket. Incentives, taxes, and local regulations will dramatically affect final on-the-road prices in different countries. From a buyer's perspective, that means shop trims carefully. If you want tech and range, budget for the higher battery premium packages. If you want a stylish daily driver, the mid-trim models often deliver the best value balance. So what are the strengths, and where should you have reservations? Strengths: an exterior that honors the Beetle lineage while feeling modern and sporty. A cabin that offers a genuine step up in materials and tech over previous generations. Driving dynamics that range from playful city commuting to genuinely sporty on winding roads. And a product strategy that gives buyers a choice between economy and performance. Reservations: real-world range versus quoted range for EV models can be lower in aggressive weather or driving conditions. Rear seat headroom is a compromise for the coupe-like roofline, and actual pricing after options and local fees may move the Beetle out of some shoppers' reach. If you're choosing between a Beetle and other compact EVs or small hatchbacks, the decision will come down to whether you want something that stands out and offers personality along with modern tech, or whether you prioritize ultimate interior space and cargo practicality. For buyers who value style, driving fun, and a connected cabin, the Beetle is a compelling choice. For families or buyers needing maximum utility, a small crossover might make more sense. To wrap up, the 2026 Volkswagen Beetle is a bold restatement of an icon. It keeps the charm that made the Beetle famous, but equips it with the technology, safety, and performance expectations of today. It's not just a nostalgia act. It's a fresh, modern, compact car with personality and options that span efficient daily driving to spirited performance. If VW nails the execution across quality, range, and pricing in your market, the 2026 Beetle is likely to be one of the most talked about compact cars on the road. BMW M9. This isn't just another luxury coupe or sports car. This is BMW's boldest step into the future of high-performance engineering. The M9 represents everything BMW's M division stands for: power, precision, and pure emotion, but now infused with next-generation technology, electrification, and design that breaks boundaries. So buckle up, because we're diving deep into what makes this machine one of the most anticipated cars of the decade. Let's start with the first thing everyone notices: the way it looks. The 2026 BMW M9 is a visual statement, a car that demands attention even when it's standing still. BMW has gone all in on futuristic styling, but they've managed to keep that signature BMW DNA alive. The front end is dominated by a reimagined kidney grille, larger, bolder, but more sculpted and integrated than ever before. The grille isn't just for show. It's functional, channeling air to cool the hybrid powertrain and brakes. Flanking it are ultra-thin laser headlights with an aggressive DRL signature that gives the M9 a focused, almost predatory stare. The hood features sculpted lines that flow beautifully into muscular fenders, hinting at the power that lies underneath. From the side, the proportions are unmistakably grand tourer. Long hood, short overhangs, and a sleek, low-slung roofline that tapers dramatically toward the rear. The sculpted doors have hidden handles that pop out automatically, maintaining the clean, aerodynamic profile. Large 21 or even optional 22-inch forged alloy wheels fill out the arches, wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires for maximum grip. The aerodynamic story continues with carbon fiber side skirts and air vents behind the front wheels that help reduce drag. The M9's design language is not just about beauty. It's all about function meeting form. Every crease, every vent, every panel has a purpose. Move to the rear, and things get even more dramatic. A full-width LED taillight strip stretches across the back, seamlessly integrated into a sculpted rear deck. The active spoiler deploys at higher speeds, adding stability and downforce. The rear diffuser is pure motorsport inspired, with quad exhaust outlets that let you know this isn't a silent cruiser. And for those who love performance details, BMW has used carbon fiber generously across the exterior, on the roof, side mirrors, and even the trunk lid. The overall effect? The M9 looks like it's ready to take off even before you press the start button. Now step inside, and the experience takes a luxurious yet high-tech turn. The cabin of the 2026 BMW M9 is where performance meets sophistication. The first thing that strikes you is the sheer quality of materials. Soft-touch leather, Alcantara, brushed aluminum, and carbon fiber accents are everywhere. BMW has completely redesigned the dashboard around a new curved OLED display that stretches from behind the steering wheel to the center console. This digital interface houses both the driver information cluster and infotainment system, controlled through touch, gesture, or voice commands using BMW's latest iDrive interface. The seats are a work of art, sporty yet comfortable, offering multiple adjustments, heating, cooling, and even massage functions. They hug you perfectly during spirited driving, but are comfortable enough for long-distance cruising. Ambient lighting runs through the cabin with customizable colors and effects that adapt to the driving mode. When you switch to sport or track mode, the lights subtly shift to red, and the display graphics turn performance-focused, giving you data like G-forces, lap times, and torque distribution. The steering wheel has a new flat-bottom design, wrapped in premium leather and featuring customizable M buttons that allow you to instantly switch between preset performance modes. Behind it sits a heads-up display that projects critical information directly onto the windshield, so your eyes never leave the road. The center console is minimalist yet functional, housing the electronic shifter, drive mode selector, and a wireless charging pad. BMW has even included a new AI co-pilot system that learns your driving habits and can adjust suspension stiffness, throttle response, and even cabin lighting automatically based on how you drive. And yes, the M9 is still practical for what it is. There's a small rear seat area that's usable for short trips, and the trunk space is decent for a grand tourer. BMW understands that this isn't just a track toy. It's meant to be driven daily, and that's reflected in the ergonomics and comfort. But now, let's talk about what really matters: performance. Under that sculpted hood lies BMW's most advanced powertrain yet. The M9 combines a twin-turbocharged 4.4-liter V8 with an electric motor integrated into the transmission, creating a plug-in hybrid setup. Together, this powertrain produces an astonishing 850 horsepower and 1,000 Nm of torque. The result? 0 to 60 mph in a blistering 2.4 seconds, with a top speed electronically limited to 211 mph. The electric motor alone can propel the car silently for about 30 miles, perfect for city driving or short commutes, before the V8 roars back to life when you hit the throttle. The transmission is an upgraded 8-speed M-Steptronic with launch control and lightning-fast shifts. Power is distributed through BMW's latest xDrive all-wheel drive system, which can send up to 100% of torque to the rear wheels for that pure rear drive experience when you want it. The adaptive M suspension continuously adjusts damping rates depending on road conditions and driving style, while active roll stabilization keeps the car planted through corners. Handling has always been BMW's strength, and the M9 takes it to another level. Thanks to a near-perfect weight balance and extensive use of carbon fiber reinforced plastic, it feels incredibly agile despite its size. Steering is precise with excellent feedback, and the brakes, massive carbon ceramic discs, deliver consistent stopping power even after repeated hard use. BMW has also worked hard on sound. The M9's exhaust note is carefully tuned, a deep, throaty growl in sport mode, but refined and quiet in comfort mode. Add in synthetic augmentation through the cabin speakers, and the result is goosebump-inducing every time you downshift. Fuel efficiency is improved too, with hybrid technology allowing better mileage and reduced emissions compared to a pure V8. But let's be honest, if you're buying an M9, efficiency is not your priority. It's the performance, the feel, and the sheer thrill. Now let's talk numbers. The 2026 BMW M9 is not for everyone's budget. Early estimates suggest a starting price of around $280,000 in the US. And that's before you start adding optional packages or customization. A fully loaded M9 with carbon pack, track setup, and bespoke interior could easily cross $320,000 or more. It's a rare machine, expected to have limited production runs, making it as much a collector's piece as it is a driver's dream. BMW is positioning it against heavy hitters like the Ferrari 812 Superfast, McLaren GT, and even the Aston Martin DBS. But unlike most of those, the M9 offers a blend of luxury, technology, and usability that few others can match. Owning an M9 isn't just about having a fast car, it's about being part of an evolution. BMW has managed to merge tradition with technology, creating something that feels both futuristic and familiar. It's powerful yet poised, digital yet emotional, and above all, unmistakably BMW. Whether you're cruising on the highway or tearing up a racetrack, the M9 delivers an experience that's both thrilling and refined. So, there you have it, the 2026 BMW M9, a car that redefines what an M car can be in the modern era. It's beautiful, brutally fast, packed with cutting-edge tech, and built to make a statement on every road it touches. The M9 isn't just another chapter in BMW's history. It's the start of a new era. If you're as excited about this as I am, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and tell me, do you think the M9 is the ultimate modern BMW? Don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth car reviews and stay tuned, because next week, we'll be testing another performance icon. Until then, drive safe and stay packed. 2026 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1X. This isn't just another supercar. This is the boldest, most advanced, and most powerful Corvette ever built. It's the one that pushes the boundaries of what American performance can achieve. So sit back, because we're going in deep. The looks, the feel, the power, and yes, the price that'll make your jaw drop. Right from the first glance, the 2026 Corvette ZR1X looks like a weapon on wheels. The design screams aggression and purpose. Up front, you're greeted by a wide, sculpted nose that's been optimized for airflow. The massive air intakes aren't just for show. They channel cool air to the twin-turbo V8 and the front electric motors, keeping temperatures in check even under heavy loads. The front splitter sits low to the ground, adding downforce and giving it that track-ready stance. Move along the sides, and you'll see muscular fenders that emphasize the car's wide body. The sculpted lines direct air around the car for maximum aerodynamic efficiency. Those air ducts just behind the doors? They feed the twin turbos and help the mid-mounted engine breathe. The body panels are crafted with carbon fiber, which keeps the car light but rigid. At the back, the ZR1X is an absolute showstopper. The enormous carbon fiber rear wing isn't just for looks, it's active, adjusting to provide more downforce when you need grip and less drag when you need speed. The quad exhaust tips, positioned high in the bumper, deliver a deep, thunderous note that tells everyone this isn't your average sports car. The rear diffuser channels air perfectly for stability at over 200 miles per hour. LED taillights with that signature Corvette design complete the look, and of course the ZR1X badging reminds you that this car sits on top of the Corvette hierarchy. You can get it in a range of bold new colors, from Arctic white to the striking blade silver matte, and every shade seems to emphasize its aggressive character. Step inside, and the transformation from sports car to hypercar becomes clear. The cabin of the 2026 Corvette ZR1X feels futuristic, yet familiar. It's a place designed for drivers who live for speed but appreciate luxury. The materials are top tier: fine leather, Alcantara, carbon fiber, and brushed aluminum. Every surface feels premium. The steering wheel retains the squared-off design from previous Corvettes, but adds touch-sensitive controls and carbon fiber paddles. The digital instrument cluster now stretches wider, displaying hybrid system data, boost levels, and real-time performance stats. You can literally see how much power each axle is putting down as you drive. The center console wraps around the driver, keeping controls within easy reach. The infotainment screen runs an updated Chevrolet Performance OS, featuring a faster interface, better track telemetry, and even a performance analyzer that records lap times, G-forces, and video overlays for your track sessions. The seats are deep, supportive buckets, available in either GT Comfort Spec or the lightweight competition model, with built-in cooling and heating. Even though this is a car built for extreme performance, it doesn't sacrifice everyday usability. You've got wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, a premium Bose sound system, and ambient lighting that gives the interior a high-tech glow at night. Now let's talk about the heart of the beast. Under the rear glass sits a 5.5-liter LT7 twin-turbo V8 engine. On its own, this power plant cranks out a monstrous 1,064 horsepower and 828 pound-feet of torque. But Chevrolet didn't stop there. Up front, you'll find an electric motor powering the front wheels, delivering an extra 186 horsepower. Combined, the system produces an astonishing 1,150 horsepower and roughly 973 pound-feet of torque. This hybrid setup isn't just about numbers. It's about delivering instant electric torque for launch and full combustion muscle as you accelerate. The result? A car that can rocket from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 2 seconds flat. That's hypercar territory. Faster than most Ferraris, faster than a Bugatti Chiron, and even faster than some dedicated electric supercars. The quarter-mile disappears in under 9 seconds, and top speed sits at a staggering 233 miles per hour. Power is sent through an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission, which shifts faster than ever and seamlessly manages the hybrid system's input. Handling has been redefined, too. The ZR1X uses an advanced EAWD system, that's electronic all-wheel drive, so you get incredible traction whether you're launching off the line or carving corners at the track. The suspension features adaptive magnetic ride control that reads the road 1,000 times per second, adjusting damping on the fly. Massive carbon ceramic brakes provide fade-free stopping power even after repeated hard use. The steering feels tight, direct, and precise, giving you absolute confidence whether you're on a winding mountain road or full throttle down a straight. The hybrid nature also brings benefits to everyday driving. The front motor allows for silent electric creep in traffic or parking situations, and regenerative braking helps recharge the small battery pack. Don't expect long electric-only range. It's not designed for that. But it does make the car more efficient than a traditional ZR1 when cruising. And with multiple driving modes like Tour, Sport, Track, and Performance Hybrid, you can tailor the experience to your mood. In Track mode, everything stiffens, the aero flaps engage, and the car transforms into a razor-sharp machine ready to hunt lap times. Now, about the price. Because all this power and technology doesn't come cheap. The 2026 Corvette ZR1X starts at around $207,000 for the base 1LZ coupe. The convertible version bumps that up to about $217,000. If you go for the 3LZ trim, which includes more luxury touches and extra performance goodies, you're looking at roughly $218,000 for the coupe and $228,000 for the convertible. And for collectors, there's the limited edition Quail Silver model, coming in at about $241,000. Sure, those numbers are steep, but when you compare them to hypercars from Europe that cost $500,000 or more, the ZR1X stands as one of the best performance bargains on the planet. You're getting 250 horsepower, hybrid all-wheel drive, and cutting-edge aerodynamics for less than half the price of a McLaren P1 or Ferrari SF90. Production will happen at GM's Bowling Green plant in Kentucky, with deliveries expected to start late in 2025, making this the crown jewel of Chevrolet's performance lineup. The Corvette ZR1X isn't just fast, it represents a new era. It's the moment American engineering meets hybrid technology to produce something world-class. It's proof that performance and innovation can coexist. When you see it in person, you feel the power before you even start the engine. When you sit inside, it feels like a jet cockpit. And when you hit the gas, it's not just acceleration, it's an experience that borders on science fiction. Driving the ZR1X isn't just about numbers. It's about how it makes you feel. The instant surge of power, the symphony of the turbos and electric whine, the sense that you're piloting something that pushes physics to its limits. Chevrolet has done what few thought possible, created a car that bridges the gap between muscle car heritage and hypercar performance. So, to sum it all up, the 2026 Corvette ZR1X is a masterpiece of engineering. It's more than a Corvette. It's America's answer to the best from Italy and Germany. Stunning looks, a luxurious cockpit, mind-bending performance, and a price that makes it nearly unbeatable in its class. This car is not just a step forward. It's a leap into the future of high-performance driving, and that's it for today's deep dive into the 2026 Corvette ZR1X. If you love this review and want to see more incredible cars like this one, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a ride. Thanks for watching MVP Road Car, where power meets passion. See you. Welcome back, MVP Road Car family. Today we're diving deep into one of the most exciting and emotional farewells in the world of performance cars, the 2026 Audi R8. This isn't just a review, it's a tribute to one of the most iconic supercars ever made. Audi's mid-engine masterpiece has always been the perfect blend of everyday usability and supercar thrill. And the 2026 model is here to give the R8 the send-off it deserves before the brand moves fully electric. So let's get into every detail, exterior, interior, performance, and pricing to see just how special this final R8 really is. At first glance, the 2026 Audi R8 looks absolutely breathtaking. Audi didn't just tweak the design, they refined it into a piece of rolling art. The front end is lower and sharper than ever, with an even wider honeycomb grille finished in matte black, flanked by aggressive air intakes that now feature active aero elements. The laser LED headlights are slimmer, meaner, and give off a signature light pattern that's instantly recognizable, even in your rearview mirror. From the side, the R8's silhouette remains timeless. Short overhangs, a low-slung stance, and those bold shoulder lines that have defined it since the first generation back in 2006. But in this 2026 model, Audi's used even more carbon fiber on the side blades, mirror caps, roof, and even the rear diffuser. Not only does it look stunning, but it also helps shave off around 30 kilograms from the total weight compared to the previous year's model. Around the back, the taillights now use OLED technology with animated light sequences, and the massive rear diffuser wraps around a titanium exhaust system that looks like it's straight off a GT3 race car. The R8 still sits low and wide, but everything about this car screams sophistication and performance, not just flash. Now let's step inside. The interior of the 2026 R8 feels like a cockpit built for both comfort and precision. Audi has always been known for its attention to detail, and here, they've outdone themselves. The first thing you'll notice when you open the door is the new Alcantara and Nappa leather combination. It covers nearly every surface, from the seats to the dash, even parts of the door panels. There's also an optional carbon fiber package that adds trim pieces across the dashboard, center console, and steering wheel. The flat-bottom steering wheel feels perfect in your hands, featuring integrated drive mode selectors and start-stop button. No need to reach for the center console anymore. The virtual cockpit display has been upgraded to the latest Audi MMI system with sharper graphics, faster processing, and new performance gauges that show real-time data like G-forces, tire temperatures, and torque distribution. The seats are racing-inspired but still incredibly supportive and adjustable, making long drives surprisingly comfortable. Even the sound system, a 13-speaker Bang & Olufsen setup, feels like it was tuned for the acoustics of a racetrack. Every inch of this cabin is designed to make you feel like you're piloting something extraordinary. It's minimal, driver-focused, and unapologetically premium. Under the hood, and yes, thankfully, it's still there. The 2026 R8 keeps the legendary 5.2-liter naturally aspirated V10 engine. This is a swan song to the internal combustion era for Audi Sport. No turbochargers, no hybrid assist, just raw, pure mechanical emotion. The V10 now produces 630 horsepower and 435 pound-feet of torque, paired with a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission that shifts quicker than ever. 0 to 60 comes in just 2.9 seconds, and it'll go on to a top speed of 205 miles per hour. The sound of this engine is something words can barely describe, a high-pitched symphony that builds all the way to an 8,700 RPM redline. It's pure theater. Audi has fine-tuned the Quattro all-wheel drive system to be even more rear-biased, so you can feel the car rotate naturally through corners. The steering is sharper, and the magnetic ride suspension adapts beautifully to both smooth highways and bumpy city roads. It's refined yet ferocious. You can daily this car and still take it to the track on weekends. That's the magic of the R8. One of the biggest improvements this year is the addition of a new drive mode called Dynamic Plus, which modifies throttle mapping, opens up the exhaust valves earlier, and sends more torque to the rear wheels. It's a mode designed for pure fun. Audi has also improved braking performance with larger carbon ceramic rotors and 6-piston calipers that bite hard without fading, even after multiple hard laps. There's also a subtle hybrid 48-volt system that powers ancillary systems to improve efficiency slightly, though the R8 is still a performance-first machine. Handling is incredibly balanced. The car feels glued to the road, and the chassis feedback is near telepathic. It's a driver's car through and through, something we'll truly miss in the coming electric age. Now, when it comes to pricing, the 2026 Audi R8 is positioned as both an enthusiast's dream and a collector's treasure. The base model, the R8 V10 Performance RWD, starts around $170,000, while the top spec, Quattro version with the full carbon package and ceramic brakes, pushes closer to $220,000. Audi will also offer a limited final edition, capped at just 999 units worldwide, priced around $250,000. That edition comes with exclusive colors, a numbered plaque on the dashboard, and unique lightweight wheels. Given that this is the last year of production for the R8, don't be surprised if these cars appreciate in value. This could very well be one of the last naturally aspirated V10s the world ever sees in a road car. Driving the 2026 R8 is more than just an experience. It's emotional. Every time you start that V10, you're reminded of what performance cars used to sound and feel like before the silent electric future ahead. The acceleration pins you to the seat, the steering communicates every texture of the road, and the sound echoes pure racing heritage. Yet it never feels intimidating. It's one of those rare supercars you can drive daily, comfortably and confidently. Audi's managed to create something that's both wild and civilized. A car that can take you to dinner in style and then dominate a track the next morning. What makes this R8 special isn't just its numbers, its design, or even its badge. It's what it represents. It's the end of an era. Audi has confirmed that the next generation R8 successor will be fully electric, meaning this is the last time we'll hear the thunderous V10 roar from Ingolstadt. This 2026 model is not just a car. It's a legacy on wheels, a perfect balance between engineering precision and emotional connection. The R8 has always been the kind of supercar that doesn't shout for attention, but earns respect everywhere it goes. It's the car that put Audi Sport on the map and gave enthusiasts a reason to dream. So if you've ever wanted to own a piece of automotive history, this might be your last chance. The 2026 Audi R8 isn't just another model year, and it's the grand finale. From its stunning design and luxurious interior to its mind-blowing performance and soundtrack, it's everything a modern supercar should be, and more. It's a reminder of why we fell in love with driving in the first place. That's it for today's in-depth review of the 2026 Audi R8. Let me know in the comments, would you choose this final V10 R8 over the upcoming electric version? And if you could, would you keep it forever just to preserve the sound and soul of the internal combustion era? Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more honest car reviews, and turn on notifications so you never miss another episode. Until next time, keep the engines roaring. This is MVP Road Car, signing off.